Hey, what's up? It's Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here with a CD collection update, number 16. Yeah, haven't done one of these in a while, so the last thing I did was my entire CD collection video back towards the end of March, so you can check that out. I'll link that down below. So that kind of has everything. Nothing's really changed there except these new additions here that I have picked up. So also, another thing to throw out there is that we have passed 1,900 subscribers and just kind of blown right by it recently, so that's pretty cool. So thank you very much for that, and keep on going. And also, a lot of these albums I have reviewed, or we have reviewed, up on the channel, so I won't go on too terribly much about them. You can go check out our reviews of them if you want more thoughts on that stuff. So without further ado, I always divide these into albums from the current year, 2017, and older stuff. I'm going to start with the older stuff because there's only a few albums there that I have picked up recently. Hopefully looking to get more of that stuff here in the future. So anyways, let's dive into it. I got two albums from the band Hailstorm, kind of completing my collection of what they have so far, and that's Black Sails at Midnight and Back Through Time. I enjoy both of these. I think they're fun albums to listen to. It's Hailstorm, but I do personally think that Captain Morgan's Revenge, their debut, is much better than both of these, and also their last two albums, so Sunset of the Golden Age and No Grave But the Sea. These are fun though. I'm not saying they definitely have some good stuff on them, and I think Back Through Time I enjoy the best out of both of these. You know, songs like Death Throes of the Terror Squad, it's a fun song. Swashbuckled, Back Through Time, Shipwrecked, to Sunken Norwegian. They're kind of Hailstorm classics in my opinion. So yeah, grab them. Next up is from the band Mind Maze, which we reviewed their new album, and so this is their second album here, Back from the Edge. I really like this a lot. This one's a little bit more straightforward, but still has a lot of really good riffs to it, a lot of good hooks as well. Mind Maze is an incredible band, and I highly urge you to go check them out. I mean, they grow on me more and more over time. They get better and better as they put more music out. It's great. There's some really good songs here. I really like the title track, Through the Open Doors, really good. Dreamwalker, Consequence of Choice. The whole album is really good. Those are just some really standouts to me. I really like them. I need to get my hands on their debut because I really like that one too. So yeah, next up is two older albums, but they're new at the same time. So they are Terrible Certainty remastered from Kreator and Endless Pain remastered from Kreator. I love Kreator, and I have most of their albums. I was missing these two, especially from their early 80s stuff, with their debut Endless Pain, their third album Terrible Certainty, and it was hard for me to find those albums at any point, but then they remastered their first four albums, put these out. These remasters are very, very well done. I like the little booklet that they come with, and it comes with some interesting stuff from the time, in like quotes and all kinds of cool stuff, and it's really cool to look back at, where the band was and some things that were going on with them at that time and the recording of the album and all that stuff. But then I think these albums sound fucking fantastic for being remastered. I mean, they really do. And honestly, the one that surprised me the most was Endless Pain. I just think Endless Pain just sounds fantastic. I think that is an awesome album, with a lot of great classic Kreator songs on there. But I really like Terrible Certainty a lot as well. I think that's a good album. I think it's honestly maybe one of the most underrated thrash albums from the 80s, and definitely an underrated Kreator album. I mean, everybody talks about Endless Pain, Pleasure to Kill, you know, Hordes of Chaos, Phantom Antichrist, Extreme Aggression, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on, but nobody really talks about Terrible Certainty, and I think there's a lot of great tracks on there. I love Blind Faith. I love the title track. Toxic Trace is amazing. One of Us is cool. You know, there's a lot of good riffs on here, and I do like it. So definitely check these remasters out. They also did Pleasure to Kill. They also did Extreme Aggression. I almost want to pick them up just to have the kind of complete remaster because I think they're so well done. So yeah, and next up, so I saw both of these bands live recently, and very much enjoyed them and went, fuck, I just need to get more of these albums from both of these bands. One of them is just a classic album that honestly I almost feel ashamed to say that I, you know, didn't have until now, and that's White Pony by Deftones. This album is just a classic. It's an amazing album. It's got a lot of really, really amazing songs on here, and some of the most popular Deftones tracks. And you know, Chino sounds amazing on it. The band just sounds killer on it. Just very, I love how, you know, heavy they sound on this album, and definitely for the time, very, very good stuff. And you know, I like it. I've been listening to this album a lot. Definitely check it out, man. I mean, a lot of people that are Deftones fans or whatever to follow the channel probably were like, well, what yeah, no shit, but seriously, it's a great album. And next up was so it's the first album I owned from this band. That's Thrice with To Be Everywhere Is to Be Nowhere. This is their new album from last year. I'm on a serious Thrice kick getting into their albums, but this is the one that always keeps coming back to me. I think this is an amazing record. It's got incredible vocals, incredible hooks on it, and I really like the production of it as well, and it's just solid from top to bottom. I love it. And so yeah, but I am looking to get into more Thrice's stuff, so anybody that's watching this, if you're a Thrice fan, please let me know what albums should I check out from Thrice. Where should I start in terms of their older stuff? So I do want to check more of that stuff out. So yeah, it's a good album. So that's like the non-2017 stuff that I have picked up recently, and I don't know where to put this. I'm going to put it over here. So yeah, new 2017 stuff I have reviewed. I want to, like, there's reviews of, I want to say, just about every freaking album on here, so won't say too much about it. But yeah, first up, Steel Panther with Lower the Bar. Reviewed this. I don't really like it too much personally. Like, it's got some fun stuff on it, but I don't think it's anywhere close to old Steel Panther. Next up is Mastodon with Emperor of Sand. This is an amazing album to me. It's Mastodon doing what they've been doing, I'd say, with the past two albums for sure, but I think it's a step above both of those albums. Has a lot of really incredible songs, and it's an album for sure that's going to be towards the top of my 2017 list, I think, just because the amount of times I just keep coming back to it. It's awesome. Next up is Body Count with Bloodlust. I really like this album, and this is a very surprising album because I think it's, you know, it's better than I thought it was going to be. You know, our review is very positive of it. It's just got a lot of really, really good songs, and it's just, you know, you might think of Body Count as not, you know, having amazing material for a whole album, but I honestly think it does with this one. It's seriously good. And I don't think you need to be into rapper, the rap metal type of stuff to really enjoy it, because I'm certainly not really into that stuff, but I really like this album. I just like its songwriting. I love its riffs. It's badass. It's awesome. Next up is one of my favorite albums of the year so far, and that's Warbringer with Woe to the Vanquished. I think if you're a thrash fan, this is just a must-have. You have to listen to this. It blows my mind every time. This is an album that next up is an album that I reviewed a little bit late, but I love it, and it's one of my favorite albums of the year, and that's Royal Thunder with Wick. Please check this out. Royal Thunder is fantastic, and especially this album. I think this album is a little bit more accessible to get into Royal Thunder, but man, Melanie has such an incredible voice, and I think that alone is just worth listening to. But the hooks are just so incredible on this album, and I love the guitar work. I love it's just grungy, sleazy sound. It is amazing from start to finish, and it always gives me good vibes listening to that album every single time. Something about it is just awesome. Next up is an album that I feel, when we reviewed it, we were positive on it, but not as much as I feel I am now. So this is definitely probably the album that I feel has grown on me the most, and that is the new album from Mind Maze, Resolve. It's incredible. It's an incredible piece of progressive metal, basically, but then there's also some pretty straightforward songs that just kind of punch you in the face. But it's an album you have to listen to more over and over and over again, and when you do, you realize it's brilliant. And yeah, like we've said many times, check out Mind Maze. They deserve a lot more attention than they get, because they are better than a lot of things out there. So yeah, next up is God Dethroned, with the world ablaze. God Dethrone's back. This is their first album in 5 years, I think, and it's a killer. It's an album that just slays from start to finish. I mean, if you don't know God Dethroned, you should definitely check them out if you're into more like, black and death metal or thrash or even just death metal or black death metal. I mean, they kind of do a lot of different stuff, but they're just aggression from start to finish and riffs from start to finish. And I like it. I like their new album a lot. It's not my favorite album from them, but I do enjoy it. Next up is Ailstorm with No Grave But to See. Their new album is fucking cool. It's Ailstorm, like I've talked about with their older stuff, but I just think there's a lot of really good stuff on here. No Grave But to See, the title track's probably my favorite song on here, and then Mexico to the End of the World's really good. Ailstorm is fun. Man the Palms, Treasure Island's amazing, and I love when Ailstorm writes these longer epic songs. I think the title track, To Sunset of the Golden Age, is incredible. It's probably one of the best things they've ever written, and I love Treasure Island as well. That's a really good song. So, and then there's Fucked Like an Anchor. A lot of people like that song. It's too long, man. It's just my opinion on that, of course, but I wish that track was like 2 minutes shorter. Then I would appreciate it a lot more. Next up is an album that I did not review this year so far, but it's an album that I really enjoy, and it's a band that I want to get into a lot more, and that's Pyramaze with Contingent. I like this a lot. It's got some good heavy metal stuff going on, a little bit of progressive feels to it at times, but it's more about the riffs, and the vocals I think are just top notch. Tracks like Land of Information, Starman, World Divided are really incredible. The title track. There's a lot of good stuff on here, and I found, this came out, I checked it out because I heard of these guys before, but checked it out, and I just constantly found myself coming back to it, and I'm like, I just need to pick this up and jam it a lot more, and I have, and it's definitely good, and who knows if it'll stay on there, my top 20, but I do very much enjoy listening to it a lot. Next up, move these over here. Next up is Unleash the Archers with Apex. Just recently reviewed this as well. Also, Unleash the Archers, thank you for sharing my review. Much appreciated. Yeah, Unleash the Archers in this album kills, riffs all over the place, massive vocals. I think it's probably their best album so far. It's just so much more mature and fun to listen to, and just way better than I feel anything they've ever done. The production's so much better. And yeah. Next up's a band that kind of needs no introduction. Suffocation with Of the Dark Light, their new album. Yeah, it's incredible. It's Suffocation. It's not my favorite Suffocation album, but it's filled with massive vocals from Frank Mullen and just fucking incredible guitar riffs all over the place from Terrence Hobbs and company. I love it. Yeah, and these next albums I really won't say too much on because they are very, very recent and we did just review them. So next up is Iced Earth with Incorruptible, a killer new album from Iced Earth. The more I listen to it, the more I appreciate it. I think it's just a riff machine. It's awesome. Dying Fetus with Wrong One to Fuck With. This album's a beast that'll just wear you down from just punching you repeatedly. It's awesome. Goat Whore with Vengeful Ascension. This is a riff machine, and with, it's Goat Whore, man. It doesn't really reach a new high for them, but it's more Goat Whore and it's fun. And then the most recent album that I literally just reviewed is The Acacia Strain with Grave Bloom. It's The Acacia Strain, and you will realize that very, very quickly. And the more you listen to it, the more you will realize, yes, it's very much The Acacia Strain. And they'll tell you to just fuck off and you're worthless, and they'll just fill you with just droning riffs that just pummel you very slowly. That's it. Those are the 21 albums that I have picked up recently, so I'll be doing another one of these next couple months. So yeah, thanks for watching as always. Of course, thank you for subscribing. I was going to say something. Oh, review-wise, I'm looking at there will be a review of Stone Sour up on the channel here soon, and we'll see on some other stuff, because some other stuff did come out, and then we'll Decapited's out this Friday, so that will get reviewed. And then also, if you are into movies, there will be some movie reviews coming up as well, and some other things surrounding that we have planned, because there's a lot of cool movies coming out that we want to talk about. So if any of that interests you, stick around, man. So thanks for watching. As always, I don't fucking know.